What is up, everybody? This is going to be the last video in our preparation for elk season. Today I just wanted to break everything out of my pack. I think I'm almost ready to go. I think I've just about got everything in there that I'm going to need. But I wanted to go through and pull everything out and just kind of double check my list and then put it back in there and have it ready to go by the end of the day, because next week we are going elk hunting. We are packing in about 3 miles to what will be our base camp. We're going to go back to that camp every night if we can make it in there and nobody else forces us into a plan B. But I wanted to go through today and just pull everything out of here, and maybe you can use some of these things that I'm doing to help yourself, or maybe you can point something out to me that I need to change, or I could cut some weight on or something like that. So we will go ahead and jump right into this. I'm still learning a little bit. This is a new pack for me. This is the Exo Mtn Gear K4 5,000 cubic inch pack, and I think I've got this thing almost to its max. Like, I can't really get much more in there, but we'll go ahead and go through what I'm going to be bringing with me for this 6-day hunt. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start out with something that I'm going to carry here on my chest. This is just my Bino pack. It's a Vortec, I believe. And then I got my Nikon 10x42s, which are pretty heavy. The area we're hunting has a lot of oak bush, so you can't really see very far. So no need for like a spotting scope or something like that on this trip. And then over here on the side, I've got some mouth calls. And then I've always got a wind checker in here too, because you all know how important the wind can be. On my strap over here, I'll go ahead and take it off. I've got an Inreach Mini. This is the first year over in the mini version. I had a bigger one, the Explorer SE, I believe. I had that last time, but I'm not taking that in this time just because of weight, and my dad's also going to be on the trip, so he's going to use the other one. So I thought, why not pick up an Inreach Mini, save a little bit on weight. This is my bugle tube. I don't know how much bugling will do, but I always feel like I need one, and this will not be this thing's permanent home out here on the side. I don't know if you can even see that on there, but I'll just pack this down into camp like this, and then once I can unload some of the weight, it will probably move somewhere a little more safe, because where we're going, we lost 2 bugle tubes the first year just walking, and we had those things strapped in there pretty good. So got to be pretty mindful of that. On the other side over here, I have, I guess you could call it a selfie stick. This is for my action camera that I'm shooting this video with. And I've got it stuck down into the sleeve, and it's going to give me like an over the shoulder look. And then if I ever need any other shots, I can just kind of use this. So in the side pouch over here, I believe I've got my tent. Yeah. So I've got my tent in here with all the poles and the stakes and everything you need as far as a shelter. And that's all that I've got in that side pouch. This will be one of the areas that I can gain some room on once we actually get down and get camp set up. So yeah, shelter over here. Then on the other side, I'll go ahead and pull out, if I can, I'll pull out the stove first. I've got my cooking system over here in the bag, and that's it. We got a fire maple cooking stove. This is new, I've never ran this before. I ran it around the house, but not in camp. And then I've got my fuel canister. I've got another video on this, I'll link it in the description, kind of giving an estimate of how many fuel canisters I need. I figured up I only need 1, but I'm probably gonna carry 2, so I'll leave 1 of these in the truck, so if I need to come out and get it, I can come out and get it. But everything fits pretty nicely in here. So that's how I'll be heating water, boiling it. And then I've got partial fork, which looks like the other part's not in here, so I don't know if it was already broken or not. And then I've got a spoon. This is one thing I would upgrade on, I'm not going to now at this point, but I would get some kind of metal spoon or something, that way you're not breaking stuff like happened here, I think. And then also in this pouch over here, I've got my Nalgene bottle. I'll say the pouches on these packs are really good. They're tight fitting, so I don't feel like they're gonna lose anything. Need to wash this out, haven't done that yet, but I'll carry this extra filtered water. If I've got some from camp, I'll carry this on me every day, as well as a water bladder that I've got rigged up in the back here. I'm not gonna pull that out, but I've got it rigged up. We've got a pouch back here that allows access to it and a waterproof compartment. I think this is a 2-liter pouch if I'm not mistaken, but I'll go ahead and check. I can leave a link or something like that in the description to that. We'll go ahead and go through this outside zipper here, see what we've got. In here I've got some rain gear. I believe this is my rain jacket. So this is the First Light Vapor series, super lightweight jacket. It's gonna rain probably, we've got a good chance of rain almost every day. I've got the pants in there too, I believe. And then in here I've got my first aid kit, pretty easy access to it. And I've also got some things mixed in here to my first aid kit. I've got some deodorant, chapstick, top half of a toothbrush so it would fit, toothpaste in a Ziploc bag. I've got a couple liquid IVs, those are just hydration multipliers. That way if we get dehydrated or something, we will have the ability to rehydrate. And then you can see down in here, it's kind of stuck right now. This orange in here, this is actually strips of duct tape. And what I did was I stuck like probably 10 to 12 pieces on top of each other. And that's gonna be my blister prevention. I'm gonna tape up my foot every day where I know that I've got hot spots that'll show up, or I've had blisters before. So I'm gonna stick that down on the pad of my foot around the toes. So that will go in between my sock and my skin, so that way that creates a frictionless plane there where your sock can slip and doesn't cause as much heat. So that's just something I'm doing new this year. It looks like it's stuck down in there pretty good, so I might have to sacrifice the bottom piece there and not use it. But just your standard kit there as far as first aid stuff goes. Chapstick, like I always get super chapped lips and stuff when I'm out there, so it's a little different than the Midwest. Then this year I'm doing dude shower wipes. I did the normal wipes last year for restroom purposes, and they work out great. But I figured these things are big enough. This is kind of a bulky pack. I'm not a fan of how much weight this is. But I know that I'm gonna go through these, and I'm actually gonna use these two as the shower for the day, or every other day, instead of bringing along soap. So I'm gonna split these up between, you know what these are for. We'll go ahead and get into the main compartment here on the back side of this zipper. You can see all that stuff in there. It's like sandwiched in as tight as you could get. We've got a nice pouch in here, storage area. This is where I'm going to keep some of my cords and electronic stuff that I need to charge. All sorts of stuff. I got GPS charger, camera charger, cell phone, and then this, I don't know what brand this is, Insignia. I'll leave a link to this because this is a great product. It's heavy, but this will last you a week, and you'll get multiple charges out of several different devices, and they'll keep you, if you're somebody that like us that films, they'll keep you running in the backcountry. Or it'll keep your Onyx offline map going. So that's great to have. And then, so this portion here goes way up in here. I've got a lot of stuff, so you might see some of it start falling out. I could go ahead and actually zip this up and then I'll start pulling. I'll pull from the top, but. All right, so straight off the top, I'll just pull out what I've got here. This is a bag. I've labeled on it film stuff, so this is extra batteries for my cameras. I've got a little LED light in case we kill one after dark and want some better footage. Yeah, extra camera batteries, stuff like that. Nothing too special. This is something that I wish I could sacrifice in weight, but we've been filming and stuff for so long that it's hard to, I can't just give this stuff up, you know. I feel like if I don't have the trip documented, and I don't really have the memories, but I know that's not true. So now we'll start pulling off the top here. I got some clothes. So I'm bringing, I think, 2 pairs of pants and then 3 shirts. So these are just some merino wool like leggings, like a base layer. I'll probably wear these when it's cold. I usually don't wear these at all, but if we get some cold mornings, we should. I'll throw those on. I've got my Sitka early season whitetail pants. They're getting pretty beat up, but I've worn them a couple times out there, and it seems like they're actually the perfect weight for mid to late September. And then I've got some black Ovis pants. I bought these on Camofire. Camofire's been running a lot of deals that I've got stuff off of lately that I kind of just discovered, and I mean, saving a whole lot of money on there. But yeah, another pair of pants. These are a little heavier weight than the early season whitetail ones, so if we get a cold day, all day, I'll have these on. So I'm gonna get about 3 days a piece on each pair of those pants, which is lovely. Then I've got a super lightweight early season whitetail shirt here, and this is great. It unbuttons all the way, so super hot day, if you get 80-degree temperatures or something, you can unzip that or unbutton that shirt, and it's practically like you're not wearing a shirt. So this was a late addition, was an insulated sleeping pad. This is a static V Lite. It's got an R value of like 4.4. I think this is going to be a big key to staying warm in the tent and keeping me off the ground. Excited about this one. And then this is something new too. This is the Katadyn water filter. Literally scoop up, and then here's your filter here, and then you just squeeze it into whatever you need. You could literally use it as a life straw too, drink straight out of the top here. But this is a 1 liter bag that I'm going to carry extra. First Light pair of I believe these are the Vapor series still. No, these are called Boundary. These are lightweight rain gear pants. That's something I probably could have left, but I'm not going to. And then I've got a couple base layers here from First Light as well. This is the Wick and Ultralight 150. I found myself wearing this, I would say 80% of the time last time I went, and then if it got a little bit cooler, I might double up and put this over the top. This is a midweight First Light, and I don't have the name on it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like a midweight layer. It's got a hood on it, so keep the sun off your neck if you have to. I'll leave links to that stuff, so don't worry about the names. And then the most important piece is just a lightweight puffy that stuffs down in your pack nice. This is a Cabela's brand. I mean, I love this thing. It saved my butt a lot out there from being cold. Some game bags here. I could take this tag off. These are reusable. I don't know that I'll actually reuse them. Hopefully we get to use them, but these are 4 large bags for elk. Want to make sure you're getting the right size bag. And I like the bright orange to that bag. Makes me feel like if I drop them, I'm going to see them. So now we're kind of getting into this part of the pack here. You can see it's starting to open up. This is sort of my kill kit slash emergency fire kit. This is the kit that gets stuff done, is what I should say. I've got some paracord. This is 50 feet. Picked it up at Walmart last night. A Gerber knife here. I'm not exactly sure what series this is, but this will be for like cutting the skull off or something. Cutting some bones, hopefully. I've got an assortment of zip ties. Well, that's one. Got a buck. This is an older knife, skinning knife. Fire starter, the Vaseline cotton balls. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there on these. I think this is probably going to be the best way to go. I've also got some stormproof matches. I lit one of these up in the house one time and I was trying to use the sink to put it out. Well, that's why they're called stormproof matches. They don't really go out with water, so had to take it outside. And then I don't know why these broadheads are in there. This is not going with me. So this is why you pull everything out and check it out before you go, because I would have just been carrying around some useless broadheads. Then I got another Gerber knife here that is a little more finesse, if you'd call it, with some replaceable blades. And then I've got some gloves in here. This is my biggest concern so far with how I've set stuff up. And I've got a whole video on this, on calculating food and how I figured out how much I need to bring basically for this trip. And the way I've done this is I've got 6 packs for all, like one for each day. I've got whatever I need in there. But I think I might have screwed up by vacuum sealing all these, because what I did was almost create like a big odd shaped rigid object that won't bend. So I've got no flexibility out of these. As you can see, these take up a huge portion of my pack. The good news is I've got everything I needed in the pack at once, so I know that I've got enough room. So once I get to my tent, these will end up staying at camp, so I'm not gonna be hauling around, which is I'm not gonna be hauling around this 12 pounds of food. So that's good news. I like to be organized, but I think it kind of bit me on this. I don't think that was necessarily the best way to do it. I could be wrong. It still might be a good option. I don't know how much better it would have fit, but I just like knowing what I need for the day. I've got these broken up and I've got around 2,000 calories in each bag. So we'll get into the final things here. I've got Klymit Luxe pillow here. This thing's also great part of the sleep system. You can inflate it to a few different levels, let some air out, and get a good night's sleep with it. And then I have got my temperature rated sleeping bag. This is a Kelty Tuck 20, I believe. It's got the hood on it, like a mummy bag. Yeah, it's the Kelty Tuck 20. So had it just stuffed down in there, and yeah, that's it. I mean, that is all my stuff that I will be taking on this trip, other than I have to add in some underwear. I'm gonna do 3 pairs of those. I would love to do more. Probably should, maybe. And then I'm gonna have 3 pairs of socks that I didn't have in there that I'm gonna include. They'll be like lightweight merino wool. They're not gonna be heavyweight. I think I had some heavyweight ones last time I went and I got blisters, so that's what we're trying to avoid here. I guess one more thing I could touch on here is, I'll go ahead and bring the camera. So I went ahead and bought this hip belt pouch from Camofire. Again, this is a mystery ranch, but it fits on anything that's got the PALS webbing. It's like a molly attachment, but I'll have a rangefinder in here. Can't forget that for an archery hunt or any hunt. And then on the other side, I have an Alien Gear Holsters Shapeshift molly holster, and I don't have the gun in there right now, obviously, but it will just stick down into this portion. I've got another video on that if you'd like to check it out, but I found that to be the best way to carry, because you don't want to carry it around outside the waistband, so that you're getting pinching and stuff from this belt. So you kind of want to keep it on this belt. But yeah. All right, so something that I forgot a little pouch here on top of my pack lid, and this is where I'll keep my headlamp. And you can see some instant coffee, some Black Rifle in here. This is French vanilla. Got my headlamp here, nothing special on it. I will be investing in one next year that has the lock on it, that way I can't accidentally turn this on. But I'll have a few extra batteries in that camera kit I showed you earlier in case something like that does happen. And then I don't have this in here right now. Well, here's a pair of gloves. But this is where I'll put my Sony Alpha. This is a Sony Alpha A7S II. I've had this for several years now, paired with a Tamron 28x75 f2.8 lens. It's a pretty good camera as far as taking pictures and getting some B-roll footage and stuff like that. So I'll have that up here. That is it. So hopefully I didn't make it too long for you guys. I mean, this probably a little more detail than I needed to go into, but I'm sure there's also areas that you might be confused on. So if you need to figure out something that I did here, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I will get back to you. You can also reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook at Recruit Creative, and we are usually pretty good actually about getting back to your messages. So yeah, if this helped you guys out, let me know in the comments, or if you need help, let me know. And best of luck to you this elk season.